Awesome. All right, we are here for the Groton Beautification meeting.
Participants on that.
Here's there. These, and this is going to be Sharon. Hi, Sharon.
Hi, how are you?
Can you see us? I'm not. Oh, start video.
I can't see you.
There we go. Hello. Now you can see us.
And you can't see me, right?
Correct.
Good. That's a good thing.
Are you in your are you in your jammies?
No. But I just I don't get beautified for the beautification committee.
Okay, that's okay. We don't care about how our members look. We care about the landscape and the town.
There you go.
So thank you for joining us, Sharon, who will be here in person in about 2.5 weeks.
Yes, and we are ready.
Yes, awesome. Well, we're ready to have you back. Yeah. That's no panelist is just this town of Groton. Yes, so I guess I need to call us to order. It's 6:32, 2 minutes late. And I am going to quickly look at everybody who's here. I'd like to commend all of you for coming so often. I just have a wonderful attendance record. You all have a wonderful attendance record. Would anybody like to move to approve the minutes of April 6th?
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of April 6th. Are there any corrections or changes to the minutes as printed? All right, all in favor of accepting the minutes? Okay. Nancy, yes. All right. I'll quickly go into communications. I'm hoping we can keep our meeting a little bit shorter today because we went so long last time. There was a special meeting here on the 26th of April. It was great. It was a meeting about our ARPA, the 2 ARPA projects that have been approved that were sponsored by Bruce, aka the Beautification Committee. And it was a great meeting with Kevin Fitzgerald. And
Did you tell us how we were going to get the money? Are we still fooling around with that? Or?
Oh, there's no problem getting the money. It was good. And also we discussed Sutton Park and the improvements to Sutton Park, and they took our ideas regarding what you might want to see in the changes to Sutton Park, which are going to be big and pretty neat. I also wanted to make a special thank you to Aline, Missy, and Jim for volunteering at the Eco Fair. Jim, must have been famished. He was there the entire day. And they are assuming they had 1,300 to 1,500 attendees. It was great. And they're definitely going to do it next year. And it won't be on Earth Day, but it was just great. I had a great time. We had a lot of people.
Get some volunteers.
We have a few. We have one person who loves weeding. We have one person for possibly doing an adopt a highway, but only one so far. But if Greg Hanover at Public Works would be very happy if we got 5 new businesses or groups. This past month, we only spent $39.90 on pansies for Downtown Mystic. So our total that we still have is $7,457.45. Of that, $2,800 needs to be spent within the next month, or it's going to go revert back to the town.
Really?
Last year, they told me the first week in June. Yeah, and end of May, first week of June. This is before the new fiscal year starts, but they can't spend money up till the very last day because they have to compute it all. So last year First I was told one day and then it kept getting earlier. So I'd say the first week of June. Yeah, it's like, so we need to buy some plants or make some choices to spend some money.
Buy some t-shirts.
Buy some t-shirts, although we really were going to, we had not planned to, each person who was gonna have a t-shirt, we were gonna suggest that they pay for it rather than have the town. But we'll talk about that in t-shirts, all right? Anybody have any questions so far about communications or treasury's report? I'm sorry, I just kind of jumped in.
I don't know if this fits in here. We had offered to buy ad and donate and say thank you to 2 politicians for leaving, and I got the check back because we cannot do that because we are part of the town and we cannot be political. So you know.
Yes. Yeah,
Anyway.
so thank you for bringing that up. Thank you for your efforts, Nancy. I'm so sorry that occurred. As soon as I got the phone call from Lisa Hilton, it was like, okay, I guess so, because it's being sponsored by the Democratic Town Committee for 2 people who have represented the entire town, but they are Democrats and it's not donate. So the $25 we voted to donate, Nancy wrote the check for it, and then they sent the check. Yeah. So we are not donating. You can, support Joan Reed all you want, but we can't, as a group, donate to that cause. So thank you for bringing that up, and thank you for taking care of it, and twice.
Okay. And
Okay. Just let us know when it might be under one of the things. So under unfinished business, the first thing I just wanted to start out with the NIPS project, because after the last meeting, I went to talk with Clint Wright, and I was just really excited. This man, he's a blacksmith. He's been making metal sculptures for years, and he's getting it done. He's already started the fish. It's not outside, it's inside because it's made out of steel, so it will rust. He's going to be painted. But I have a copy of what he submitted to John, because the town needs to see some type of, in order to give the NIPS money, it has to be approved, and the planning has to approve where it's going to be and all that kind of stuff. So we've started that ball rolling. And also for him to get paid, he needs to have a sketch and what's it going to be and all this kind of stuff. So this is, I've got a copy of it. So this is the rough sketch and a note that Clint wrote to John to show what the fish is all about. You can, his shop is in No Ink. I called him and he was there. So I stopped in and I saw just the framework. It's going to be like, what it's,
why don't you read his note to us so that everyone.
Oh gosh, did he say centimeters? It's like I think 18 feet by 6 feet tall, I think, or 15 feet by 6 feet tall. It's quite large.
All fit in.
Yeah, with the trash barrel in the middle. This is just really, let's see, these 3 sheets describe the fish sculpture that I am making for the beautification committee. All of the measurements are taken from the existing armature, which is being built in my studio. The concrete foundation shown is my recommendation, but I will assume only a supervisory role in excavation and pouring of the concrete. The sculpture will be suspended in the excavation, and concrete will be poured around the base. Mark Berry will be a large part of this has a large part in the location of the sculpture. Drawings are nice, but I highly urge all concerned parties to inspect the piece in the shop. And then he gives his phone number. So anyways.
Works has agreed to pour the foundation.
I'm sorry?
Public Works has agreed to pour the foundation. That's a big deal for something that large.
Recommended concrete foundation is 18 by 48 by 96.
Holy mackerel.
That's just what he recommends.
Yes. So, well, all I know
Can I see a
is,
picture of it?
yeah, I'm gonna pass this around. All I know is when Shirley and I had proposed had another proposal in front of ARPA, we had asked for a 10 by 10 foot concrete slab, which would have kind of been the outside of the comfort zone of the public works, and it's a lot of work. But Greg said they could potentially do it. So I'm hoping that.
Because that would cost a lot of money. I mean, if you had to pay for it yourself, that'd be a few $1,000s.
Yeah, Shirley had looked into it. I know it's expensive. So we're hoping that so how big was the one that when you had your sculpture?
Mine's 8 or 9 feet. Big deal.
Yeah.
About 4 feet.
Yeah. Well, we shall see. I am hoping I think when you guys all see this, I think the town's really going to be excited about it.
But,
yeah, we can get sculpture work it into reducing plastics in the ocean and cleaning up our area. It would be, I think, a win-win. So I was actually going to propose that next week before our meeting, we all meet there at his shop, because I was going to propose that we meet at Esker Point, not one of no, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Next month.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I misspoke. No, our
Okay.
June meeting. I was
Okay.
thinking maybe we could meet there. Unfortunately, I had that brilliant idea, and then I tried to call Clinton. He didn't answer, which he often doesn't because he's in the middle of something. So I will check with him, but I would love to tentatively meet there. Plus, it would be kind of late. It probably wouldn't be till like 6 p.m. and then go on to Esker Point Beach and have our meeting there. I think would be enjoyable. And we can kind of get a feel for the place if that's where we want to set it up. So that's the fish update. I'm going to move on to the adopt a highway, and then we can come back.
146 inches wide. That's about 13 feet.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I
So
think
it's not 18 feet.
okay. All right. But okay. All right. So I thought it, 12 or 13, and then I'm sorry. I've been the length of it.
Yeah, it's about
Yeah.
12, 13
Yeah.
feet.
Okay. All right. 12,
How
13
wide?
feet.
It's 78 inches tall from the pedestal, to the top. So that's a little over 6 feet. So it'd be about 5 feet, I would say. And the recyclable barrel is in the middle of it. Is it going to be? Are we going to paint it or anything like that?
Yeah, he is going to paint it. So it's all his design.
We might want to have it painted to our specifications as far as what we want to. Maybe we want to put a logo on it or something. Or
I think it's going to be pretty open, but we do definitely need to have
people to recognize it's ours.
yes, and also, but we also need to have some type of sign explaining what it is and explaining what Missy had come up with was something like, plastic makes fish sick, but this fish likes plastic. That's very simplistic, but it was much catchier than that. But so whoever is good at prose, we need to come up with a short, maybe just a sign to sit there, but also we probably need a little explanation too. Like probably 2 signs, like a little sign saying something and then maybe an explanation.
Yeah, well, I definitely think that it's going to be steel and painted. We should have a hand in putting together what we want on that, because it's going to be the whole community.
Right. Well, I guess what I would do is seeing that he is an artist and professional, I think it would be great to ask him what his idea is, because I know that if I tried to tell you what I wanted you to make, I think you would probably say, but Cindy, I'm the expert. Let me do it. So but I would actually, out of respect to you, I would of course ask you what your idea was, because I think your ideas are.
I just mean that we should make it colorful.
Yes.
So that it stands out.
Okay.
Because it's gonna reflect back on us. So we want to. I wouldn't leave it up to just Clint to do that. You know, he needs some input from us.
Okay.
I suggest.
All right.
I think that's why the meeting at his place next month would be a great idea.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know what? No, you know what he wants to do? He's told me he is really excited about this. He says, I'd like to have this in by the 4th of July. Now, the town doesn't necessarily move that quickly, but I mean, you know what I mean? Compared to the snail's pace that you were usually moving, that was exciting.
That's great.
Yeah. But so I'll call him or email him tomorrow, check up on our next meeting is June 1st. I'll check to see if we can be there at 6 on the June 1st. And also I'll ask him, first of all, what he had thoughts on color. And then could we discuss that and when we can. Because I agree because
It wouldn't be hard to pick out the color scheme for this. I mean, we could just pick a tropical fish that we like or something and kind of use some of those colors just to make it like attractive.
Yeah, so people.
We don't have to invent anything.
Right. But also, and I think it is going to be something that really is going to attract people to it.
Oh, absolutely.
Is it different? The metal different from his sculpture down at?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
You should. This sounds like high maintenance when you paint something.
Well, it's steel, so you have to paint it, otherwise it's gonna rust.
Yeah. You should stop in there, Nancy. Do you know? Have you met Glenn? Yeah. Stop in, and because you walk in, his store is right there. This big lips, fish lips are right there.
The other one is stainless steel. That's at the.
I know.
All right, we need the other part of the NIPS project is the Adopt a Highway program. And I just did speak with Rachel tonight. She still feels like it would be best to get people to adopt a highway and we give them all the things. And I told her that the committee didn't really support that because we thought it was just as easy to have the town administer it. She thought it might be easier for the business to have it. And I personally have done this a number of times. Not that hard. You call them up, you say, I'm going to do the cleanup on, the 1st of June. And I need, we have 8 people coming and they'll give you all the stuff, you pick it up.
Yep.
And then on the day of the pickup, you call and say, we have, 10 bags and they're on, Route 1 at such and such a spot. And then the next day you bring back the stuff and drop it off. It really isn't that difficult. But there has to be a certain amount of commitment. And so I've got 4 of these. They can print these up at at Public Works. We can make any changes because he just printed them up. He didn't, they're not like, I thought it came from like the state or something. No, this is our Groton one. One of the things we talked about though, currently it says, we agree that we should adopt it for 2 years. That seems, seems reasonable because there's a little bit of paperwork, and we're also going to put in a sign for, if Chelsea Groton Bank were to adopt a piece of highway, we'd of course identify that as the spot that they were. And I have not talked to Chelsea Groton Bank. I just grabbed that because I used to work there. So but it says here, select a road segment at least 2 miles long in consultation with Public Works. And when I was speaking with Greg Hanover, he and I were like, one way down is 2 miles and the other way down is
maybe it's one way down on one side 1 mile and then back could be another mile.
Mm-hmm.
You do both sides.
You're right. Well, we that's what we talked about, doing select a road segment at least 2 miles long. So we thought changing it to 1 mile long because you probably were doing 1 mile. And when you're bending down and you're filling the bag and you're dragging the bag along with you until it gets full enough to bag and leave there. So I have, it's a little bit challenging. So we thought about that. And then right now it has pickup litter at least 3 times a year, which would be a minimum of 6 cleanups in 2 years. And he thought that maybe 2 times a year was a big enough commitment. And I would say instead of pickup litter at least 3 times a year. we discussed picking up litter at a minimum 2 times a year. And
spring, summer, fall. Get your business out there.
I
think
3 is good.
There's enough trash on the road.
What do you think?
But if it's students, for example, the people who signed up at the event were students. And I don't know, in the summer, they're probably not going to be all around to do that. So we say a minimum of 3, and they are around, they can do 3. A minimum of 2, they can do 3 if they can. But at least they have fulfilled their commitment with 2.
Yeah, like it's interesting because it's like you don't want to make it too easy, but you don't want to make it too hard. Because in some places, twice a year, depending on where you live, that's great. And in other places, you could probably do it monthly.
Has he designated any stretches of road that
I
particularly need help?
No, I asked him and he said often organizations or businesses have an idea. So they have a place that they like quite a bit, or they want to do it in front of their business, or in a neighborhood. If a neighborhood association joined, then they probably want to pick right in their neighborhood. So, they have some very specific things in here. You can't be on a really busy road. You have to be at least 12 years old. Anybody under 18 needs to be supervised. There's some good rules here, but it's really about 3 times a year, or 2 times a year, and how long the road segment is. Great. All right.
Do we have a number of these to give out?
We have, yes, he can print them up for us. We gave out quite a few at the Eco Fair, and if we can all agree, and if Greg can approve it, because this is actually too from the Adopt a Highway CT from the DOT, is can we just change it to that? So other than that, it looks it's very, it gives you the basics, and then but you still have to have a sign up and specific forms. But if we were going to try to go out and get people to sign up for this, you would at least need this. And then possibly, like Rachel suggested, we really need a packet. But I'll be seeing Greg tomorrow, so I'll say, okay, what other things? Because there's a sign up and there's a release form. So what would go into the packet? Yeah, liability form. So
also, if it's not, as I said, neighborhood had an unofficial happy hour on Friday. Their game, they're trying to think of what they would want on a sign.
Okay.
But they were saying, okay, it's big organized twice a year, but if we go around, we start to see a bunch of craft during some sort of event from downtown Mystic, would the town be willing, if we have the bags, would they accept the bags of trash? Because it would probably be too much to hit in our trash cans.
Yes.
So that was one of the questions.
Okay, I am going to assume yes. I have worked, the gentleman who I worked with, Tim, who is a supervisor at the transfer station, was the person who I had worked with, and he was great, really easy to work with, extremely enthusiastic. But I will ask Greg that tomorrow.
We have pickup trucks, but might not have enough trash cans to put everything.
Yeah. And actually, that, and I can understand that. So in the past, we just left them somewhere, and so I know you can ask.
Would the entrances and the exits at 95 be included in what we would do? No. Because that's a terrible situation.
It is a terrible situation, but that is all state, and I know they don't want. I've even sometimes when I've gotten on or gotten off, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a hot mess. I don't. But imagine if you were going around that corner on an on ramp and you saw somebody over there, you'd think it was picking up trash. It might really throw you. So you'd want to have signs and all kinds of stuff. I don't think they want any kind of liability.
Or 89, which is the worst one. You can park, they have a parking place now, right up on 95. You pull the trucks in.
Oh, right. Yes,
So, and you could stay inside the fence. I don't know if it can be done. I'm just saying that,
right.
might be a thought to.
Well, I mean, it never hurts to ask.
Yeah.
It never hurts to ask, and at the same time, make requests of the state. If we can't clean it, can you please clean it?
Mhm.
This probably, as it gets busy, that's probably not going to be high on their priority list. But this past year, without any snow, I think a lot of things got done. Like the public works here did a lot of cleaning of the roads that they don't normally have the opportunity to clean up. But they're like, oh, no snow. Okay, let's go pick up some trash on the roads.
Mhm.
So I know it's very frustrating because it kind of represents, it shows what we think of our state. So I'm not sure where to go there.
Well,
I do
thumbs up.
All right. So yeah,
I'd be happy to do it. That's what I'm.
Yeah. It bothers you enough that you'd be happy. Yes, right. So we need somebody or somebody's, Rachel will do it too if I get her a packet, who is interested in trying to recruit some businesses, either by phone calling or a business that you frequent, is, that you'd be willing to try it to see if they would be interested. Like I was thinking, maybe I should go over to Chelsea Groton Bank since I work there and very, community oriented.
And we can't do Route 1. Correct.
No, we did Route 1.
Yeah.
We did Route 1 a couple times.
State highways. I
know.
Right. But there's a sidewalk there. So, okay. So think of that. You're going down the road, here's the middle of the road, and from here to here, and then into the greenway there, that's state. Then there's the sidewalk, which is town. From the sidewalk inwards is town. Because that's why the town is responsible for clearing all the sidewalks.
And that's where all the trash is.
Usually it's right along the sidewalk, kind of. You don't want to walk, no matter where you're cleaning, you don't want to walk too close to the road just because distracted drivers. Right. Yeah, but you can on the sidewalks.
People are, they're very appreciative of the work on Route 1. That's a couple of times I've been on there. People slow down, they honk their horn, they wave,
Yes, yeah.
You see all of those fluorescent colored vests and the grabbers.
The pickers, trash pickers. All right, so maybe what we can do is maybe see if each one of us could recruit. So I need to get a packet together and see, like I said, Greg Hanover said, if we could get 5, that would be awesome. And also we have to let the business know that there will be, it'll have the typical sign, Groton adopt a highway sign. There's one on Thomas Road. And then underneath that separately, so it can be removed if they decide not to continue, would be, Chelsea Groton Bank say, sorry, Chelsea Groton, if you don't want to do this, and I keep bringing you up. And then we've even talked about having a little beautification logo sign also. And that would also be kind of nice to.
What if we suggest to Bruce Flax, Chamber, that he bring this up? Might short circuit a lot of that kind of work. I bet you there are plenty of people who would like to, and would be right talking to the horse's mouth.
I've spoken with Bruce Flax, and he said they have different groups who are part of the chamber, and they're very happy to do cleanups, but they're sticking more in that local area. I don't know if they're going outside the Groton Stonington area. At least the one time that he specifically mentioned to me, they did the Groton Stonington area, but in downtown. So maybe that would be. I wonder if you could get just the Chamber of Commerce.
They've expanded to London too, because they sponsored the movie series with the Guard, with their Mystic Chamber.
That might be worth a shot.
Okay.
I mean, there's a captive audience of businesses.
Yeah, it dovetails exactly with their purposes.
those beaches. You know, what are those cocktail hours? That they
Yes,
have?
right. I'll talk about trash. Cindy's here to talk trash. Great.
Opening line.
Yeah, that's right.
Have another drink.
Yeah, that's
By the
right.
way, sign.
That's right. Sign this. Yeah, you guys are all feeling generous. All
But I
right.
mean, there are clubs too. I'm thinking about, you know, garden clubs that might want to do this.
Well, there's,
project,
and
or
actually, yeah,
service clubs, the Kiwanis, the Lions, you know.
yes, it's organizations. Well, so the Mystic Garden Club already does it. One on the Stonington side, I believe. And then I know that the Groton Rotary does Thomas Road. So you're right. And that was a good point. It doesn't just have to be businesses. It could be nonprofits.
So if you approach a business or a group, you say, you know, fields, and then you say, now, and you want to choose your 1 mile stretch, you want also 1 mile stretch.
That is interesting. Yes.
And so how, well, because I think we need to be pretty much saying the same thing, otherwise it's pretty soon everybody's going to be confused.
So I did have that exact question for Public Works, and because I said, do you have specific roads that you're like thinking that you've identified as, oh my gosh, this place is a hot mess? And he said, no, we want them to you know,
So
and maybe I don't know if maybe, you know, because there are guys who go around and pick up all the trash. So maybe they do know some. If say it was a group like the chamber, and they were like, well, we're open to cleaning up any place, and because our businesses are all over. Maybe the town would have an area that, but
for
except
example,
that our
student group here, if we contact them, I'm not sure they know where they want to pick.
right, but
So-
I mean, so NHS's
National
Honor Society president. Okay, so I mean, we could even do Sutton Park, or we could do Paquonic Plains Park. I walked through there the other day, and there's just from the kids playing and stuff. There's bottles, and it's not horrible.
And now they have an area that is picked. The next step is to contact Tim at the transfer station.
Get our signs made, and yeah, and then they pick a date.
And okay.
And then they have to say how many people, so like how many vests and how many
Right.
pickers, and they know they've got the vests, the pickers,
Yeah.
the trash bags, and they give you gloves. They give you everything.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, anybody listening to this, anybody interested in adopting a piece of Groton, adopt a highway, can contact it's actually Public Works.
We have our name on the sign too.
I'm hoping we can,
Yeah.
although
We should.
I will need to talk with Greg about that too, because before it's like, before it was like, we are doing this, but we're going to do this in cooperation with them, but they're doing more of the work than we are. We're trying to get people to come to get the program started and get the signs up.
Right.
But they're gonna do a lot of the work, but they've already done a lot of the work. They have the trash picker, they have all the supplies.
We just need to get the manpower.
We just need to get people, groups to volunteer.
Mhm.
And it's really satisfying. Every time I've done it, it's so satisfying.
Here, the phone number to call is actually Public Works.
Yes, you can email, and there's you can call Public Works at 860-448-4083. And we're trying to clean up our roads with our own residents and organizations and
Church
businesses.
groups. I would think church groups would be a great way to start too.
Or you worry about the little kids. From experience.
Yeah, actually you can't, anybody under 12 can't participate unless they have special permission, and I don't know how you get special permission, like.
Okay,
Yeah.
Are we going to be working with the city on this? Because if I go to EB, I'm trying to get the management association
Yeah.
to agree to adopt an area. If it says town of Groton, if they say Eastern Point Road, even though we have our cleaners doing that
Right.
all the time,
Yeah.
do we want to restrict? Or have we dealt with the city?
Well, so this is Groton Public, that's a good question.
But I can also
Town
bring
of
up with
Groton.
the property we're using over at Old Cow Doors. That area would be a possible area that I could post for that. Because that's hitting it.
There's
Even the section.
in the town garden. The
It's-
old
it's-
finance building and the Cowgirl building you're talking.
Yeah,
about.
well, that's what I would. But if they want specific, if they want to hit city.
They're really provincial about how they.
And they,
treat
in
their-
the
their-
city, has their own public, right?
A couple of areas over in the city that were just perfect for some girls. And they climbed all over me for even suggesting it.
Well, so, and also the city, I can't imagine that the town of Groton is going to go to the city of Groton and pick up trash. Because,
We have enough to do here.
Yeah.
well, I know, but he makes a good point.
Well, I'll use
You know.
one, because that's why I said with the old outdoors,
See all the elders.
it's the military highway there. Not,
No.
There's a bowling alley.
yeah, the bowling alley.
This Groton, we got plenty to do.
Yeah, but
Well, I
he
know,
makes a good
but
point. He's
that's why I
talking
said
about
if we're trying
EB,
to
which,
get EB for me to convince them
yeah,
to branch off.
you know, we're all one, but we're not.
That's
Yes.
right.
Well, EB does have, you know, a location in one of the shopping strip malls, right? Right over near Austin J's and everything.
That's
So,
We have the purchasing, so that's why I'll counteract when I coach him tomorrow.
Okay. Awesome. It's really, I mean, it's just so beneficial for our town and how our town looks, and you know, there's a lot of.
Base. What about the Navy base?
Well, that's too
Think
far
about
away. I don't know.
That's the federal level.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, you can't get on, I can't get on the Navy base.
Get that road.
Oh, you mean on Route 12? On Route 12 or going?
maybe we can start off in the core of downtown Groton and see how that goes, and
Yeah,
we
right.
can expand if necessary, but take care of the, you know, basically the downtown area.
Yeah, and I am really hoping that people, especially if we can have our really cute little logo, and that maybe it'll catch on. I hope. I find it very satisfying because I'm task oriented, like picking up the trash and putting it in the bag and throwing it away. It's so satisfying. Anyways, so everybody, I will work on getting a packet together. And if anybody wants a packet, let me know. You want 2 packets, okay. And then we'll keep a list of places that we've solicited, so we don't keep going back.
I will contact these people because I know.
Oh, lovely.
She put only her name, but
Uh-huh.
2 other people.
Okay, do you want to take this one with you?
No, that's just what.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. That's excellent. If we could even just get one, get the ball rolling, you know. Okay. All right, moving on. I guess I spoke about that enough. One of our favorite things to talk about, the beautification committee logo. And thank you very much to Sharon D'Amato and to our very own Bruce McDermott on putting together some beautiful logos.
Did everybody see the one I sent?
I brought it. We were discussing it.
Oh, okay.
So,
These are the different iterations of it. You could do one like that,
yeah, I did see
one
that
like
one.
that,
Okay. I've got,
one like that,
Like that one.
one like that.
geez, I wasted my printer and stuff.
Right.
So, Sharon had what does it say that?
I sent one to Sharon, too. A
Yeah.
couple of them. Actually.
When did you send it?
No, last week.
No, did you send it to everyone or just to me and Sharon?
I answered one of Lisa's memos to us, and I
Uh-huh.
sent a couple of PDFs, but I just sent one to you and Sharon
Uh-huh.
specifically.
Okay.
Figuring I'd just drop these off tonight and
Yeah.
see what you wanted.
Yeah.
I added the lines on the bottom of
Yeah.
the submarine. And you can do, if you wanted to do a t-shirt, you could do it like with beautification at the bottom, like on the black and white one.
Like
I sent.
this? Or
You could, that's exactly what I wanted to try to avoid. I
Okay.
wanted to write
Except that
That's
the
very-
one thing that so yeah, if you do it like this, but one of the points, and I really agree with this, is it has to be big. The whole point of this, in my opinion, is when people are driving past us, when we are sweating and grunting and planting beautiful things, is to know who it is who's doing this work.
Yeah, well, the print is pretty big on this
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. So we want, so it doesn't have to be underneath, it can be on top.
Yeah,
And this doesn't have to be at the top of shoulders, it can be further down. You just want to be able to see
right.
who we are.
Yeah.
I mean,
the whole idea with the graphic is to integrate both the visual picture and the writing. You want it to kind of hang together.
Yeah.
Whichever way you do it.
Yeah. So, right, are we ready to actually vote on one of these? And
Yes.
but all right, so okay, this is the same. So this is bigger. So let's vote.
Well, I think it's saying.
Well,
Because it's the same design.
it's the same design. They can be made any size, girl.
It's just the curving. I like the curving of the letters.
So it's
So those are the things.
Yeah.
yes,
That
and but
one
this
and
one, and then this
the
one
black and
has
white one too.
the beautification underneath versus on top.
I like that.
I really like this one too. Okay.
Okay, let's call this number one and let's move on.
Erin D'Amato, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Thanks,
Okay,
Sharon. This is great.
yeah, I know. You guys work well together. And then this is the one with it on the bottom. Does anybody prefer this one?
No.
We're all in agreement.
Yeah, we all agree on
We've
this.
already voted.
Yeah. we all
Okay.
agree on it.
So this is it. Number one is number one. All right. Thank you, Sharon and Bruce. You guys maybe should start a graphics company together. All right. Now, next thing is I got this, Rachel's husband very generously said he could print up these for it's not gonna have this print. I brought this so everybody could see the material. It's called dry something. Anyways, it's yes.
Wicking.
Yes, it wicks it's supposed to be cooling. And it's a synthetic, and he can do this for us at his own cost, which is very generous. And it was $18 to $19 each. And if we order over $200, shipping is free. Sharon had looked at, so I'm going to pass this around in case anybody didn't, I just want you to feel it. It's not going to be that color, but yeah, that's right. You're going to model it for us, Jim. Sharon had gone to R&B Apparel Plus in Groton, which is obviously also local. And she can get
Well, that's what it's all about.
yeah, that's what it's all about. She can get Hanes t-shirts, cotton t-shirts, 1 to 5 shirts is $19.50 or 6 to 10 shirts is $17.75, and that's either small to extra large. I don't think we need anything larger than that.
I mean, 5 is $15. Is that what you mean?
No,
If you order $5 to $15 each.
$15 each for a
Order
t-shirt?
more,
Wait,
Yeah.
one, wait, no. 1 to 5. Okay, listen. All right, I'm sorry, I'm going too fast. All right, this one I should have had you do this, Sharon, because I messed it up. All right, for a Hanes t-shirt, which is cotton, the pricing would be as follows: printed front and back. So the little pocket guy and the nice big one on the back. If you get from anywhere from 1 to 5 shirts, in other words, a small order of shirts in adult sizes, anywhere from small to extra large, each shirt is $19.50. If you have a larger order, say 6 to 10 shirts, each shirt is $17.75. So, the more you order, the fewer each individual shirt is. I still propose that those of us who are going to wear one of these shirts, I don't expect the beautification committee to purchase it for me since I'm owning it. But, you know, is.
Yeah, you're gonna keep it, nobody else is gonna.
Yeah, nobody's, it's not to be shared. Yeah, not like on the vests. So, and then if you get it printed on one side, which it doesn't sound like anybody wants, it's a little cheaper. It's like $3 cheaper if you get 6 to 10 shirts. It's only $14.25 per shirt, but that's when you only have printed on one side.
So what is the cheapest order? Biggest amount, cheapest order.
Over 500.
Yeah, right. I have no idea. And
Yeah, I had no idea how many you were talking about getting printed up, so I just did it basically for the committee.
Right.
So one is cotton, and the other, I don't know what Rachel's. Is that more of a fitting shirt?
It's an
athletic shirt.
Yeah, an athletic shirt that you wear. Who has said it? Yeah, it's like, you know, this is her shirt that she wears when she plays softball. And, you know, so it's more like a team shirt, and it's wicking, I believe. It's very light and thin. Does anybody prefer this kind of fabric? Because I've heard cotton. Karen is cotton.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, are you going to be the dissenter?
No, I'll go with the.
Do you prefer this?
No.
You're easy.
Yes, I really.
Does it come with Rachel's picture on it?
Maybe your husband's picture on it. All right. So we're talking about a cotton t-shirt from the this wonderful R&B Apparel Plus with this logo. Now, color of t-shirt, people. Before I blab out what I'm going to say, does anybody have any ideas about color? What did I print out?
Pick up a color that's in the logo. It seems to me it's some kind of a.
Where's my pictures of the?
Well, except that if you pick yellow, for example, the part of the logo is not.
Well, the logo is going to show best against white.
Oh, we can't do white. We're going to get too dirty. Or actually, can you get more than one color, or is that a different price, Karen?
You know, I don't know that. I mean, they also had different types of cotton t-shirts too. I mean, they had the Gildan, and you know, I would recommend. Unfortunately, I'm not there, but somebody to go down and maybe even feel what the Hanes t-shirts feel like.
Right,
you know?
right. You don't want the cheapy kind.
Really have different colors. I mean, a limited number of colors. I would.
Yeah, no, I went on this one, which is the online guy. I mean, had tons of colors, so I don't know.
The R&B, that was unlimited colors, I believe. The price was for unlimited colors.
Okay, so
for print colors, you're talking about printing, right?
We're talking about colors of t-shirts.
T-shirts.
Oh.
So Bruce wants a white one. I don't want a white one because it's going to get dirty.
Well, if you're not going to get white, my suggestion would be to get something that will contrast with the logo. Otherwise, it's never going to show up.
If that was a white shirt, that would show up much better.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
But what about when you're driving by and you see a bunch of people in a brightly colored shirt versus a white shirt? What do you think? Which do you notice more?
You want to see the logo. You don't care about the color of the shirt. The logo is what's important. You want it big, and that'll stand out to anybody.
Yeah, but if you're driving down Route 1 and you haven't read the logo, but you see a bunch of people with brightly colored shirts, you might identify that color with the logo eventually. Yeah.
That's just my thought. I don't care. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah, no, I know. I appreciate your input. I can't always be right, you know.
Like the apple green. I think that's green is nature. Yeah. This is what we do.
And it's a little bit contrast with the logo.
And the lettering would have to be blue.
And the lettering would, I don't know, is the lettering black though?
Black. But you can make, I can make it any
You can
color.
make it any color. Okay. All right.
Well, maybe it's just my eyes.
So that is blue right there.
Blue
It is
Yeah.
blue, but you might be able to do.
Yeah, we could make it any color.
You wear a
Blue
green?
and, the only trouble with blue and green is they're right next to each other on the color wheel. They don't really contrast that well. That would be my only suggestion, that you make it black.
That you make it black, okay. All right, so at least we've got number 1, cotton shirt, green, and we're gonna pick the good quality t-shirt when Karen gets here. Or who wants to go to R&D Apparel in Groton? Or can we wait for Sharon to get here?
We can wait for Sharon.
Mind if we wait for you, Sharon?
That's fine. That's fine. Again, there's you know, the Hanes. I don't know what the quality of the shirts are. Obviously, I'm doing all this over the phone with her, so
Yeah.
You know, I would like to have somebody from the committee come with me so that it's not just
I'll go.
somebody
For the
else.
same Hanes t-shirts you used on Custom Ink, the pricing would be as follows. Okay. Yeah, so
Right.
this is the pricing you got on this one that you sent to all of us. It says for the same Hanes t-shirt. So she could look at what was on this spec and spec it for the price.
Right, exactly. And I mean,
Still, you're right. You got to really feel the quality of the t-shirt because you don't want it to be thin and
right.
wimpy.
Right.
Okay. All right. This is happening, people.
Mhm.
All right. So we need to vote on it.
Decisions are being made.
Right. So
We all agree.
yes. Yeah. Do we?
and maybe R&B can tell us what colors they would recommend too, you know, that's what they
Yeah.
do, so.
I think we should go to probably like 10 because already close to that number. By the time we had a few more people.
Yeah.
But you have to know what size.
Yeah. We'll need to.
The only,
Yeah, we'll need to, we'll get a little form. So by the next meeting, June 1st, I am going to have a form. It's gonna be the color, and then you're just gonna have to fill out the size. We'll have a price. Okay,
They'll probably give us a sizing chart too, I would think.
right.
Yeah.
And the other thing that point that Sharon made was if you're outside and this is gonna be a short sleeve t-shirt. So if we're doing something that either it's hot or it's cold, you might want to have an extra layer. You want it big enough so that it's not snug. Unless you like a snug t-shirt. Well, thank you so much, Bruce. Thank you so much, Sharon. I think we're on our way.
All for the cause.
Yes.
If we are able to get some business, like I say, a church group or something who's willing to do this, do we offer t-shirts for them to buy as well that they can wear?
Well, they have to wear the vest, so it would cover it. I don't know because this is my one thing is we are kind of encouraging it, but it's really run by the town.
Yeah, let's keep our.
But we are still part of the town.
But
we are the town,
well, or are we a part of Public Works?
part of the town. That's what I keep getting told.
Oh, okay.
We could always be, ourselves. We could be a nonprofit on our own.
Oh, you're right, but we are
part of the
a town committee.
So
You're
we
right.
need to assume that.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right. Okay. That's a good point. I appreciate it. Okay. And we can talk about that. What I had in mind was when people are doing beautification things is when they wear the t-shirt, right? Not just around like to a rock concert or something, even though you'd probably be the most popular person there. All right. Now, moving on to ARPA project updates. We had the meeting on the 26th here. Peter Woods came. We talked about a lot about one of the things that had to be removed was the irrigation, which has concerns for those of us who like to plant, and not having easy access to water is concerning. So guess what? Peter asked what the town did for irrigation. So I was in touch with Greg Hanover. He had some ideas. So I am meeting with Peter Woods and Greg Hanover tomorrow, at 3 p.m. at the town hall. We are going to, Greg knows that there's the hose bib that Shirley identified, or hose, where you turn on the spigot, is turned off, but can easily be turned on inside the building.
That's right there.
Yeah, but he also Greg talked about maybe there's a better place to put it. So he's a very enthusiastic person and positive, get her done person. So Pete said he'd meet us. Greg said he'd meet. John Burt would come, except he's busy. Because I realized here we are planning this, and this is really going to disrupt the town hall. I better include the town manager in it. So tomorrow at 3 p.m. at the town hall. And the second thing that, and overall, Pete, if we could get this going immediately, he would get it going immediately.
He can start right away, so.
Otherwise, if we can't get it done before it starts to really warm up, we're gonna have to postpone it till. But the other thing that was really great is before you got into the meeting, one of the first things that Kevin said, and you probably already knew this, but I didn't, is that the money that you received for the beautification committee received for the grant that Bruce wrote for murals, is that it can be used for murals and or sculptures in one or multiple sites. There's a lot of flexibility. You didn't just write it for.
Well, that was great to hear that.
Yes, exactly. So it's really up to Bruce or the committee, or, to figure out what we want to do with it. And Kevin's very supportive, and he's very available.
He was very good about that. Well, my thought is to duplicate what has been done in the land. And I have agreements that were made between the city, the artists, and the call for sculptors. Like all of the stuff just done. They did it in December last year. So it's au courant, and it's done by legal teams this time. So I thought is to pick out, let's say 5, just for sake of argument, because 5 times 2 is $10,000. 5 sites, and do primarily what we're going to do down there at Esker Point, except on a smaller scale. We can get these sculptures on loan, make a call for artists. We need to get Public Works to pour some foundations, let's say 5 by 5, just for sake of argument. And we would specify that the sculptures we want maybe be, up to 7 or 8 feet high, 3 feet wide, something like that. And withstand elements and so forth. We need the sites. That's the first thing we have to do, is identify where we want these things to be, because 5 is not much to begin with, but it is a beginning. So we could pick 5 sites out, talk to the people that own the property. Maybe one of them might need to be on the town property. I don't know. Figure out where we want it to be, though. And that's a big deal. It doesn't sound like it, but we've got to figure out where we want to start this project and get the most bang for our buck. Talk to Public Works, and then actually do the call for artists after we get all of this stuff together. It's a real big project in the long run. I mean, this could be a huge deal. And I'd be happy to help run the thing. We need some people to go along with me that are going to be willing to work, though, on a pretty constant basis until this thing gets off the ground. It's not really that hard to do, but people that can talk to some folks, because you have to schmooze them a little bit to get it going.
So they're letting us borrow it, but we still pay them, or is it just, okay.
Yeah, what they've done down in the land and in other towns too. So it's easy to see. There's a website called CAFA.
Okay.
Cafe, they pronounce it actually.
Okay.
And basically what it is, and there are other ones besides this one, but that's where you put out a call for artists. So you can take a look at it and see what it looks like, CAFE and .org, I think it is. And what we would do is we would pay somebody $2,000, which would cover, let's say, the transportation of the piece here and a little extra for them, and then getting rid of it. So we would only do it for a couple of years. That would be kind of maximum. And people pay $1,500 to $2,000 usually for it. And they get a lot of takers because artists want to get their stuff out.
Yeah.
So it works out pretty well.
Is there some type of identification?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We would make up, plaques, but it's a small item. Plaque is on the bottom of
Yes.
the sculpture or the concrete. Kind of like what they did with me over there, same sort of thing, except it'd be like plastic. You don't want to make a big deal out of it.
It's not going to be.
But
How does the town or does the group would have to insure those sculptures for the duration?
we don't do anything in that respect. It's all on the recognizance of the artist. They accept that kind of responsibility. I don't think there'd be any problem. Yeah, well, if a car, even if a car runs into it, we can make all kinds of adjustments, but the town is never going to agree to insuring something like that. So the artist would have to take responsibility for it.
Like graffiti and everything that would happen here.
Yeah, well, it's a possibility, but they've not done any of that stuff down there in the land. That's not happened. People, they love it and they leave it alone. Kids don't fool with it or anything either. It's really kind of amazing. All of the art down there, nobody's touched it. And that, they have the same kind of problems we do here. They got a fairly substantial socioeconomic problem down there, but doesn't seem to make any difference.
Yeah.
I would hope the same thing would happen. But I'll go through the agreement, just double check that, see if there's any way around it, really.
If the artist agreed to.
We're thinking for a location to have one or two in Southern Park when we're doing the walk.
I just assume eliminate Sutton Park, period. I don't really think that's a good spot. That, if you were going to take a chance on anything, that would be the place that they would vandalize something.
What about the town hall?
I've seen what they've done to the bathroom down there.
But that was years ago. Remember what they were talking about, that there's a lot of young people and not young people who are there who have taken a lot of pride in the skate park and ownership.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's what Chad Frost.
This is what we want. We want to dress up the town.
Right, right. You don't want to
Sutton Park. That's going to be its own
bury it. Yeah.
What's the stretch, a distance from Delano? How far apart are they?
Well, they spend a lot more money. They spend $30,000 on this. So they've got 15 sculptures, 12 to 15 sculptures, and it's in a more compressed area than we have here to deal with. So that's why it's going to be kind of important for us to pick places that are really kind of out in the open and recognizable.
About the front of the town hall, that whole big stretch of lawn in front of.
We'd actually talked about putting a sculpture there.
Johnson's Hardware is one.
Yeah.
Good spot.
Nice at the golf course, a lot of people, but.
Well, my thought would be that we want to, as Jim is alluding to, you want to kind of keep the area sort of compact to begin with, so it makes a statement as opposed to spreading it all out. Eventually, that's the idea. You want them everywhere, or enough so that people, no matter where they go in town, they'll see something.
Yeah, the head of the boardwalk, for example.
Well, boardwalk to town hall versus worry about that whole stretch.
We have to decide where we want to put it. Do we want to put it on Route 1 or Route 12? You got that, the worst area is that stretch that's from like the big wide plaza to it's only like maybe 3 blocks long if you actually did the distance. I'd say it's maybe a quarter of a mile between Big Wide Plaza and the bottom of the hill where the bank is and where Big Y is, that parking, that shopping center. That area is the worst one as far as looks are concerned. Do we want to concentrate on that?
Are people going to want to walk along that road?
No, this is for driving. People are gonna see this
Like
stuff driving.
Peconic Plains Park, something right out in front there.
Yeah, well, that's, It's up
You're
for grabs.
driving by the sculptures?
yeah. Yeah, you're gonna see them from your car. Nobody's gonna be walking on that road between Big White Plaza and up to the end.
Well, that's what I
But
mean, but they might be
we're-
walking from the town hall down to the boardwalk. I mean, especially because that's kind of, that little area is kind of a little bit in a renaissance now. It's kind of coming together, but
Mhm.
he's laughing at me, guys. He's laughing at me. He was trying hard to hold me.
Here, I don't care where we put it. My only thought is you want to kind of keep the area kind of sort of compact to begin with, so it makes a statement.
Right.
And let's just pick an area. My vote is for up there in that middle stretch, where
Okay.
but the problem with that area is we have to get property owners to agree to do that. That's always been a hassle. When I ran into that with the murals.
The town hall is property town, and it's town property, and.
Well, if we could put it on town property, that eliminates the problem right away.
Across the street, even so,
Yeah.
it's down there, it's town property.
Well, we could do the town hall, we could do Quantic Plains. There's probably some stuff just right around where the walkway is. There's another place. And maybe we could do that.
Yeah, I think we should start with town.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What's the first step? Yeah.
Well,
Cast
the
the net
first
out there.
step is to get agreement on where we're gonna put these things from everybody, whether it's a private party or the town. Which
Okay.
I can only imagine what that's gonna be like, but
Right. Is it a specific, it's not like equidistant between each thing, I'm assuming. It's more where it fits.
they
into
do that down in the Lamp, but
Okay,
you're talking about a downtown area pretty heavily trafficked with foot traffic.
yes,
We're not talking about that here because nobody really walks around Groton.
yeah.
So we have the same thing here down the PGA corridor. And it's people drive like 45 miles an hour down the PGA corridor. And the art in public places is all along the whole stretch.
Does it do you know if it's slow traffic at all?
there's no slow traffic in Palm Beach Gardens.
Okay.
No, but everything's very bright and beautiful from, as you're driving. And of course, there is sidewalks over on the other side, but the majority of it is seen from the road.
Where's this, Sharon?
Palm Beach Gardens. We do art in public places. It's all over the place down the whole strip of PGA, the PGA corridor, PGA Boulevard. So it's very visible more towards the people that are driving than it is
Florida,
that are walking.
for such a conservative state, they are so far ahead of us with regard to artwork. It's just unbelievable. But they recognize it's an economic development tool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we don't. So,
We just do things slowly here.
Hmm?
We do things slowly here. Think about it a lot.
Well, I think there's other towns, like I know West Hartford's doing a lot, and I think Manchester, there's a lot of different communities, Middletown that are
it is
doing.
happening bit by bit in this state.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
it's important to go to the town with specific places
I
that
think
we
so,
are
yeah.
proposing. So why don't we come up with specific
Why don't
places
you
like
take next
town
week,
hall?
come up with some thoughts.
Certified location that would you next.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, cause you
Exactly.
got to drive down and so would you say, so is there a certain length that you'd want it to be for 5 sculptures? Length that you want to cover, or does that
not really.
matter?
If we do the
Okay.
town thing, it's pretty much constrained by where those properties are. Yeah. But if there's something else that really, tickles your fancy, we can, do that 1 or 2 there too.
Groton
I
Utilities,
don't know where that would be, but
The community center.
yeah, Groton Utilities,
I'm sorry?
Groton Utilities.
Yeah, they have a big stretch of property
But that's private property.
What's the pad against
That's
Bruce?
their
property.
Bruce?
Is that,
The pad.
Right.
What it is all
you
over
could use
that.
like a 5x5 pad. I think that would accomplish most of it, because we don't want them too big this way. We want them kind of vertical anyway.
Yeah.
And the other thing we could do is we could even specify that we'd like to have some kind of a theme that would be like recyclables or something. I mean, I don't know if
Like
that
the
would
cows
work,
in
but-
West Hartford. Remember the cows
Yes,
years
yes,
ago
yes,
in West
yeah,
Hartford? That turned out to be a big thing.
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So did the whales.
I'm sorry.
So did the whales when we had whales.
Right.
Right.
That's right.
But the whale, you know how much they spent on that whale down there in the Lund, it was like $250,000. That's how
Oh,
they got all through.
a lot of
No,
people
we're
got
talking about
lost
the little
whales.
statue,
Oh, the
like the
little
one,
one.
yeah, the one like in front of Big Square Books.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know what those cost. I wasn't involved in that.
but actually, the statue that I absolutely love is the one in the park at Westerly, and it's that bunny running,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's big and heavy, and kids can climb on it and such.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah, but it's not going anywhere. It's there
no,
for good.
It's bronze.
Is it bronze?
Beatrice.
I think so. I think it is.
Yeah,
bronze.
yeah, because actually where the kids sit, I think it's more shiny.
Hmm.
But
Bruce, did you happen to talk to that group that I mentioned?
the mural group,
No,
You said you were gonna talk to them. It was Rise Up for Art.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean. Tell me again.
I sent you an email on,
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, they've already canceled one on me. They were supposed to call again today, but they didn't, but we are in touch, yeah. And I have to see, I don't know what'll develop, but yeah,
okay.
I'm going ahead with it for sure.
wondering if there's any way to use NIPS money for a mural, if it had a educational message about plastics, recycling, cleanups. I'm not
I
sure.
really think that that's a good idea, because that's the only way that we can get into that program. And, murals are ferociously expensive.
Package stores. You're the package.
Well, what's interesting though is one of the things that came up when we were at the library is somebody came and gave me a little pamphlet from the aquarium, and it showed a sea turtle that was all wrapped up in ropes. And so Missy said she had tremendous success with telling children, like, you can save a turtle or you can save this creature if you make sure to throw the plastic away and not let it get into the ocean. And she said, I can save a turtle. I can save, the kids were really excited about that. And I thought, oh, now that, because part of I believe part of the NIPS money, if it's for educational and plastic and trash reduction over time. And she just had mentioned that it really got kids excited. And I know that when I've seen the things on social media about creatures that are tangled or have something stuck on their head, and it's just heartbreaking because here's this little animal just trying to live their life and they get tangled in something, or they just
spend it on NIPS pickup.
Yeah, I'm not positive. We'd have
I
to,
think it's pretty wide ladder.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's trash reduction overall, but it isn't necessarily, I think certainly the piece of it is actual trash reduction, but it's also,
But there's a time limit on spending that as well.
there is no time limit at this time. There is, however, if my concern is that if we start really making some good progress with it, if we don't make good progress, we don't spend it, we won't get any more. That is more my concern.
That was
Yeah,
an interesting project they did in Montville. Did you read about that? The
Yeah.
NIPS money.
Yeah, they're paying people to pick up trash, right? And that
And
was,
the other thing that they've done too is they've done some murals that we could use on town property on our roads where the intersections are.
Mhm.
I've seen that kind of stuff you can kind of put a message on a little bit.
Yeah.
When you want to put a mural on the side of somebody's building, you're going to have to make sure that they agree to it. And I don't think they're going to be many instances where you can put a recyclable message up on like
Oh, but
bakery package store, you know?
yeah, but I mean, once again, people love sea turtles. That's my favorite marine reptile.
Well, yeah, leave it up to the artist to
you
come
know,
up with something that
yeah.
would fly.
But
Yeah.
that gets the message across.
Sure. But we could do some murals on town property, on the roads. Maybe even get some kids involved in it.
Yeah.
Come up with some ideas. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
That wouldn't cost us a lot of money.
Yeah. The traffic, I've seen all those, trying to slow traffic, the crosswalks, but you can't do that on a state road.
No.
We've already tried.
It'll only work on
but you know what,
that.
there's plenty of, about Depot Road, you know, going down to Bluff Point.
Exactly what I was.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Right where that little park is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's, anyways. All right, we've talked about this enough because it's already past my hour, but thank you, everybody. I just want to quickly, under new business, it is the month to plant. I don't know if other people have, they need money for things, but we have $2,800 that we need to spend before the, like by the first week of June. It's kind of puts us in a pinch because you can't plant too early.
Rachel suggested, and I kind of agree, that we designate part of that money for daffodil rolls again and get it. If you're going to do the daffodils again, she just suggested that we confiscate some of that money, earmark
But
it.
it's not, this money has to be spent now.
Well, we would spend it.
You order it.
Order it.
Yeah, I'd just as soon put that on the back burner because it was not particularly, I mean, we did plant them all over the town and that was phenomenal. And if we have money, absolutely. Okay, thank you. If we have extra. But the one thing that I know we have to do as far as planting projects is behind the wayfinding sign that was knocked over by the car, we want to add at least, I think at least 2 trees there. I'm not sure the exact size. Yes. We need at least 2 like arborvitaes there, and it'd be good to put them in before they put the sign back.
The sign got knocked over.
The wayfinding sign at Route 1 and 117.
They already knocked that one.
Yeah, it was eight months. It's up 8 months.
What was the statistics on that sign getting hit?
Well, all I know is that it had been knocked down twice in the past 2 years because when it was still wood, it was knocked down, and we got an email from John Burt saying, "Oh, it was knocked down," but they just put it right back up. They just because they knew that they were going to get a new one, and we were thinking, "Oh, thank goodness, it wasn't our new sign." But when we were putting plantings in, one of my contacts from who was helping us in the highway department, he's like, "You know, Cindy, this thing gets taken out pretty often," and I'm like, "Really?" And yeah, and within 8 months later. I'd forgotten, and that I would just put it right out of my head. And of course, what did I say to him? I said, "Were the plantings all right?" He's like, "Yeah, the pine tree was a little askew, but we fixed it. We plugged it back in." And so, yeah, the plantings were okay because it was hit in the winter when everything's kind of dormant. But if that had happened in the trees
it looks awful.
Yeah, it looks so we need to get 2 trees. So I need one of my friends with the white truck. I need to go up to Holdridge's and get 2 more trees, but I'd also like to do a cleanup at the same time. So plant the trees, clean up, and see if we need another mulching, take the weeds out, see, because sometimes you need to mulch every year and sometimes I have no idea.
Maybe you should put big boulders behind the sign.
Actually, Leanne had suggested, big planters filled with heavy rocks. Yeah. We don't want people to get hurt, but I guess that is a common place for people to fall asleep or not make the turn or, yeah.
That's amazing. I didn't realize.
I know. I'm not used to taking out signs either. You're probably not used to taking out signs. And I realized the reason we didn't put, the question was asked when we first installed everything, how come we didn't put more trees back there? Well, right now, when you buy the trees, it's $100 for a tree and it's shorter than the sign. So why would you put trees behind the sign? But eventually the trees will get up there. So I would like to buy 2 trees. I'd like the beautification committee to buy 2 trees And I'd like to find a day that we could plant those and do some cleaning up. Does anybody want to do that with me?
Next weekend, I'm waiting for something on the roof, so I have a weekend free.
You're a bachelor? Take advantage of your single weekend?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay, so next weekend is the 14th and the 13th.
Thursday weekend.
Oh, Mother's, your
She's with her daughter.
Oh, and actually, you know what? You're not her mother, right? I keep telling you.
I don't, yes, but
Yeah.
as part of presents,
Yes.
the kids are covered with dad.
Yeah, no, that's what it's like. Yeah, it's but she is the mother of the
So
child.
could you buy something else to put in there? I mean, we have this money and
Like
sign's
what?
not gonna be put in right away
Correct.
in that area. You're more arborvitae and maybe some flowering.
Yeah, make it
bush.
really a big show.
I mean,
So,
Plus the planes are heavy to the west. If we could put a few more things to the east,
okay, I am as a
but that's.
non-professional, but as a lover of plants, one does not have to have a symmetrical
Okay.
garden, just saying, because I've heard this complaint before. Step in anytime, landscape designer friend. Who, me?
Why don't we just pay somebody to do it?
Because that takes a lot of money, it takes a lot more time too, you know, if he says, oh, we can go on the, you know, a week from Saturday, landscapers right now are not available. So, I mean, so, but, well, point well taken. So how many could we, so these arborvitaes are going to get enormous, so the landscaper in me doesn't want to crowd them too much, but it's going to take a while. Maybe tomorrow, could you and I go look at it? If you're able to come to the town hall tomorrow, I'm giving you all these different tours.
like crowded arborvitae that creates a
Do you?
whole backdrop for that
Okay.
area. You know, it would kind of the backdrop for the sign,
Yeah.
some flowering.
You can trim them
bushes.
too, like see people
Yeah.
trimming. Some
Yeah,
people
I
like
don't
to
want
go
to-
together, trim.
Yeah. Okay, we do need to put some perennials under the sign because a couple things didn't make it, I don't think.
Sign was second. Trump on that.
No, because so they specifically put the sign in as a breakaway sign. So remember, it's got the cement thing and then the cement base. And then they've got these nice metal little holders and you just plug the sign right in. So I think they'll be on either side.
Plant around it.
Yeah, I think they can plant around it and then well, actually I think it's 2 trunks. And so right underneath I can put, I'm pretty sure I can. And
So they have another sign like waiting in the wings in case anything happens?
no, and they have to go through insurance, the guy's car insurance.
But I mean, that's what the design features are put together for, so that they can do that again pretty easily.
Yeah, they specifically did the breakaway because it
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's spend some money and. make
Okay,
it really,
okay,
you
so
know,
get more trees in there. There's not a lot of space though, just because the property stakes are there, so there's not a lot of space from the property line to the sign. So I think we probably gave it plenty of space, but we certainly could plant some, and we can plant them closer than maybe I ordinarily would choose to, but fill it up. Maybe even get bigger, taller plants. Then, you know,
right, let's not wait for them to grow.
yeah. Well, you know what, when you're on a budget, you don't ever think of getting the next biggest size or something, because you're always trying to scrimp.
Well, this whole
And then
business
there's
is
a question of watering there because there is no irrigation. So they
Yeah,
have to be
that's-
watered.
They're gonna have to be watered.
So the bigger, the more water we need to somehow carry it.
Always drive right on the sidewalk, just saying that. Okay, so possibly the 13th. Okay. And other plans.
I could possibly do certain, but I don't know, I have no idea.
Right, okay, all right.
And also for other things, I think at Southern Park, we are going to need to buy some earth to put inside this.
Yes, but you want to still do annuals?
Yeah,
I think for this year, we should
this
try
year,
annuals
yeah,
because
they won't start that before the fall. anyway,
yes,
so.
right. They might end up taking that site down.
Yeah.
Do you feel comfortable just going and picking out stuff? Like we can either go to, we have
But
accounts,
if you go to Aldrich on
Yeah.
Wednesday,
the
on
hopefully the
Saturday,
third, yeah.
on the 13th. Pick whatever else you plans there at the same
Me?
time. I know. I mean, you know the space. It's not big.
I don't know how much to get, but I can consult with you.
Yeah.
And some, so not potting soil, it'd be like compost. Like the lobster compost or something good like that.
Mixture of both. You know, we can mix both compost and potting soil.
They have that raised bed garden soil now.
Yeah, they do also.
Is that good?
For the price, it better be.
Okay, yeah, this stuff, it's expensive. But they mix in all the good stuff.
You see, it's a lot better than. They don't recommend potting. When I talk to my holders, they don't recommend potting soil outside. They said you're paying a lot of money for.
Yes, yeah, to put into your garden bed.
To put into the garden bed, but
Okay.
they said the mixture for.
Just use manure.
Where'd you get the
Yeah.
manure? You mean in the bag?
Bags,
Yeah.
and you mix it in the soil.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Same
usually
thing.
get compost.
Okay,
I usually get compost, but
All right.
sometimes they have the lobster compost or.
I probably got suckered.
But sometimes it's loose, you know, it's looser. I've noticed that some potting soil like. All right, Town Hall Annex, I think Missy and Carol are gonna do the planters. And I'm gonna see if they maybe do the other two little areas also.
Well, plus, you said we had ideas to do by the community center.
Uh-huh.
Can we do the plannings there too?
The community center, so Shirley and I, the community center, like underneath the sign.
Yeah.
Yes, that we're gonna try to get that done this month. Would you help us with some digging and planting?
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about that tomorrow if Shirley's available
I
too.
have a list.
Okay.
A list of plants? Awesome.
We'll read them. I would know.
Okay,
Recommends.
she even has the common name in there. Okay, so bird's nest spruce, woolly thyme.
That's for the seniors.
Oh, whoops, I'm sorry. And then the War Memorial. Okay, sorry. Community center. Okay, she even gave me a little, no, a star. That was the one that I was paying attention to, and I still wrote. Hamlin, fountain grass, blue star juniper, yellow variegated liriope, and variegated red twig dogwood. And I could substitute yucca yellow sword. If I can't find the Hamlin, or if
Well, you wanted to talk about it because you had suggested, and I thought it was a good
Yes.
idea.
okay, all right, okay,
We
All
need the red twig dogwood to complete the planting at the entrance.
yes,
That was on the
Yeah.
plan from
Yes.
last year.
Yep.
We didn't get it.
right,
So we need to-
right, because they didn't have any. It's too late. Okay. Oh my goodness, I think you and I are gonna have to take separate trips.
Will they plant the tree?
What? We'll hold you just plant the big trees? No. No, let's see, that was the other thing is we had the town planting with us. Digging and planting.
Right.
As well as Jay, Jim.
And so that will continue.
No, I don't think so. Not for 2 trees. I don't think. We can do, and actually, well, we'll put plants over there. And I said, Jay and I were gonna do it we had to, I had gotten, one of the trees died. So I got one replacement and I called Jim. I said, could you help us? Because I think it's gonna be too hard. And it wasn't hard at all. You remember?
Correct.
Yes.
Well, no, I think it'd been pre-dug around that.
Yes, yeah, we were replacing one.
Yeah, but the whole area
Oh.
didn't seem like it was actually.
Yeah, you're right. We were replacing it, so the hole had already been dug. All right, we're getting into, okay, does anybody, okay, and the Groton PD, JC is gonna start work on that. And so I'm just gonna let him know to let us know if he needs people. Remember last year we pulled up the mugwort and added a bunch of pollinator plants. So this is all just stuff that
There's a lot of mugwort at the top of 1 and 15. I drove by the wetland. Oh, it doesn't look too bad from the road, but when you drive back in the back.
Nice looking mugwort.
Yes, nice looking one.
Yeah, so I'm gonna wait for the top of Fort Hill for Sharon to get here because she's a pro.
Should we have the flowers up there? Where this weekend at top of Fort Hill?
Absolutely.
Because the flowers are starting to die off.
The bulbs?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. They can get
A
added.
lot of them.
Well, they
Yeah.
blew, but now they're starting to.
Well, I know, but
Actually, Sharon, I'm sorry that you didn't get to see all of the planted, they were actually the daffodils that got planted at the top of Fort Hill and also at the PD. They looked great.
Oh, that's good. Good to hear.
I thought of you every time because I thought, I knew you were.
The
Working
daffodils
there.
where the submarine sign is. Really are really making a show.
Yes, yeah.
And I think that's what she wanted to.
Yes.
Set some money aside so
Yeah.
that we have the bulbs now.
Yes, yes, absolutely. No, and she's doing a great job with that. That's just,
she
it's
is.
getting bigger and bigger. And that's not a fun area to plant.
No.
She and I did it first year. It's, all right, listen, guys, I think we've been here long enough. It's 8:03.
Can I
Yes.
suggest something?
Yes.
We had the bond and we recognized them for their effort of landscaping. I was thinking of another business on the top of Route 1, Dr. McKay, the dentist. She does a beautiful job of maintaining her little property, road property.
Right near Walgreens.
Yes,
The
yes.
intersection. up there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
okay.
always looks very nice.
Yes.
Doctor, how do you spell that?
MACKEY.
Oh, okay, okay,
McKee.
okay. So I'll drive by there.
Yeah.
Everybody can drive by there
Uh-huh.
and take a peek.
Right. Because she might be a good candidate to be recognized.
Okay,
So that-
lovely. That's a great idea. Great idea, because it's easy to kind of let that stuff fall by the wayside because. Excellent. Do you know this person or do you just notice it when you?
No, I know her, yes. I do
Okay,
know her.
and she does it herself?
No,
you know?
she hides.
Okay.
No.
But
she's
she,
a dentist. She's
yes,
busy
but
with-
exactly, no, but she makes an effort to
Yes,
do it
yes.
specifically. Excellent, okay. All right, so everybody going by Dr. Mackey's office, it's kind of actually by the,
not far from the fire station.
Right. right between the fire station and the
The shack. and
yes,
the-
yeah,
See if you're on the right side of the road.
yes,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay, I'll take a look. All right, next meeting, June 1st. Let's say tentatively 6 o'clock. At Clint's Forge. But I will double check with him because obviously I can't set a meeting if he's not gonna be there. Or if that, that's also a little bit late. And then I'd like to have our regular meeting at Esker Point Beach. Go in and there's picnic tables to the right. And that way we can just sit there and see outside. And maybe look around. I have no idea if that's where we would.
Where did you say we're meeting next?
Esker Point Beach. Are you?
No, at Clint's.
Clint's.
I'm sorry. At 6 o'clock. Do you know where that is? It's in Noank. All right.
You know where the shipyard is?
Marina.
The shipyard,
Marina.
right, it's right down there next to the shipyard. If you're going to Groton Long Point on 215, you turn left on Marsh Road, just before you get to the Yankee Fisherman place. There's a left-hand turn there, it's called Marsh Road. And you just go maybe quarter of a mile, let's say, on the left-hand side. It's the only thing you'll run into. It's like a little factory kind of an operation.
It's on the left and the restaurant's right across the street.
And you never know, there's no name or anything. There's a lot of junk outside. It's a big brick building. There's trash everywhere. He's got projects and everything.
Very
And
across
so
from
when you're
that
going
black
down
and
there,
blue,
take a
whatever.
look.
That would make.
Across
Yeah.
from the old,
Black
Yes,
and blue restaurant.
yeah, yeah.
Black and.
You can meet somewhere else too if that's too nondescript.
Well, you
Well,
can put
also,
your- you can put black and blue in your GPS and then
Yeah,
right across
right
the
across the
street
street.
is that place.
yeah, I just don't wanna, I'll let you guys know if that's okay.
Mhm.
All right.
yeah,
Sure.
Okay. All right, next meeting, June 1st. At 6 o'clock, starting at 6 o'clock, and then we'll transition over to Esker Point Beach. And anything else? Would anybody like to make a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
8:07. So sorry it's gone so late. All in favor of adjourning?
I.
right.
All right, meeting is adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Bye.
Sharon, can't wait to see you.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm saving top of Fort Hill for you.
Sounds good.
All right.
Bye.
All right. See you soon.
See.